421 million shares priced at $38 a piece. Here to break down those numbers are Rich Greenfield, an analyst with BTIG Research. Also with us, he's been with us all day. We've been working him to the bones. Bloomberg contributing editor Paul Kudrowski, who is a former equity analyst and currently an early stage venture investor. And Paul, earlier you said to me, you love the company, you hate the stock.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic company. You can't take anything away from 900 million users. You can't take anything away from being, the dominant social network on the planet. These are all fantastic things, and Mark's a remarkable entrepreneur. But that doesn't mean I have to love the stock, and it doesn't mean I have to love the stock at these prices. At these prices, as we've, I think, really driven home.
And you love it even less at $38?
38, 39, 41, 42. Just keep following it up. The emotion builds. And so at those prices, it's unprecedented how expensive it is, and it's very difficult to see how quickly it grows and how it can quickly grow into that valuation. And that's important. I mean, it may not seem important if you have it pre-IPO and you get to flip it post-IPO.
Sure.
Who the heck cares? But in terms of as an investor who might be looking at it now, there's absolutely no reason to rush, in part based on the valuation.
Okay, I want to talk a bit more about that. But Richard, let me bring you in on this. I mean, you do recommend, though, this Facebook IPO.
No, what we basically said to clients is that if the Facebook IPO priced within the original range of 28 to 35, we thought that over the course of the next 12 months that you could realize upside in the stock of low 40s. I think we said 41.50 to be specific.
It makes a difference to you that it's at $38?
Well, I think if you think something is, on a high end worth $41, $50, $42 over the course of the next 12 months, I think pricing at 38 versus pricing at the original midpoint, which was 31.50, I'd say 38 versus 31.50 is a tremendous difference in valuation, especially when you think about a company with 2.8 billion shares outstanding. I mean, just to make that clear, every dollar is a $3 billion move in the value of this company. And so there's a tremendous difference in terms of upside appreciation. Look, there's supply and demand dynamics that are going to play out tomorrow that I have absolutely no value add in terms of how that plays out in terms of the impact at the open and during the first few hours of trading. As a fundamental investor looking at Facebook, I think it's very hard given how early we are. You look at a mobile phone and you look at the display screen on a mobile phone and looking at how is advertising going to play out on that screen? Because everyone who gets an iPhone, everyone who gets an Android phone, behavior is shifting. People end up using Facebook far more on a mobile device than they're using it on the PC.
So you're talking about the monetizing the mobile. You're talking about monetizing mobile. How is Facebook going to do that? That's the big question.
There's two core challenges. One is monetizing mobile. The other core challenge is the fact that unlike traditional display advertising where you just take a little square box and throw it up on the right-hand side of the screen, or you shoot a TV commercial and you blow it out to all the networks like Bloomberg to put up that ad, advertising in social media, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, takes a lot of effort. There's got to be more of a thought process and a strategy behind it. You get a like on Facebook, that's great. What do you do with it?
Right.
How do you actually build an ongoing, living, breathing advertising marketing strategy? That's why someone like Ford has actually used this quite well, and they've done Ford Warriors against cancer. GM, on the other hand, doesn't like this medium and has just pulled back.
Right, pulled out of Facebook, out of advertising on Facebook. But Paul, I know you made an earlier comment, which I thought was quite interesting, which is, look, if you're a retail investor and you obviously couldn't get in pre-IPO and you still want to sort of capitalize on all this fever, don't buy Facebook, but buy perhaps companies that ride on Facebook.
Sure. I mean, you can buy LinkedIn. I mean, LinkedIn got crushed today. You can buy LinkedIn cheaper than yesterday. Same thing with Zynga. Many of these companies are very dependent on either the same phenomena in terms of the growth of social networking or directly dependent on the growth of the Facebook platform in the case of a Zynga. So there are many ways in here that don't require you to buy a stock that's as expensive as Facebook. Granted, neither Zynga nor LinkedIn are exactly cheap by any measure, whatsoever. But in a relative terms, you're buying fast growth companies in the same market exposed to many of the same trends. And it's really important as an investor not to fixate.
Okay. All right, Paul, I know you're going to be with us throughout this special. And Rich, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Rich Greenfield from BTIG.